And you're waving the white flag and you're giving up.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody I know, the men going their own way, that movement, they do not like me. My first problem with this is, look, if you're going to call yourself men going your own way, why are you here? Why are you still talking about all these women? Why are you still obsessing for women?
A group of girls said a male classmate sexually assaulted them. He was escorted from school in shackles, charged with crimes, spent an entire summer indoors with an ankle monitor. Finally, the girls admitted they made it up because they didn't fucking like him. That is absolutely insane that girls sat there, made up a story about a man and ruined his life. He could have committed suicide, stuck in his house, worried about being accused of something he didn't do, and they all have Instagram. And they deleted my Instagram saying I'm dangerous. Absolutely criminal.
Women are not always the victim, and this thinking needs to change. And as Andrew Tate says, it's absolutely criminal that women have the power to accuse men of something they didn't even do. Men are avoiding women at work simply because they are worried about women making unfounded charges or threats. Just imagine the mental consequences that boy will have to feel for the rest of his life.
So, a hyena asked me, "Girl, if you think we are the hyenas in the Western world, what do you call those passport bros, huh?" Well, obviously, they are the victims of the hyenas.
You know, you leveled up when you used to be with a man that made you pay half on Plan Bs, and now you're with a man that just pays for it fully. Period. Girl breakfast. And it matches my... It's pink, because I'm just a girl. Everything pink.
You need help.
Men saying, I've just decided altogether to avoid women, that it's better to be single, guys. They're almost like happy about the fact that they're gonna make the choice to avoid the entire gender of women because they have yet to actually resolve the war they have within themselves.
It is not because they're fighting a war within themselves. It is because they found peace with themselves. And she was so close. She was just so close to getting there because at least she's recognizing what men are saying. Because they're tired of the complaining, the double standards, the expectations, and the risk of losing everything that they've built. There is no unresolved internal war going on in these men. He just found peace and contentment on his own instead of using that energy and effort on someone else.
I lost everything to the woman I trusted and was always faithful to. I'll never let anyone have that kind of power over me again. Haven't dated in 14 years. I will never marry. I adopted children. I have money. I have horses. I have peace. I have peace. I have peace. It is definitely better and safer. There is no war within ourselves. I haven't had an argument in 2 years. Personal best for me. I have more money than I've ever had, and I can do what I want with no consequences.
Relationship dynamics have changed significantly in recent years, with an increasing proportion of men opting out of romantic partnerships with women. This trend can be traced to a number of intricate variables, such as men's emotional tiredness and discontent, as well as women's struggles with things like self-sabotaging habits and unreasonable expectations. Gaining insight into the fundamental reasons behind these problems allows one to view the changing face of contemporary relationships from a more nuanced standpoint. Males have always received less credit for their work in partnerships. The sacrifices they make are usually disregarded, and their actions and feelings are generally taken for granted. Men always try to give care, security, and support, but their services are not always appreciated or acknowledged. It is possible that many women are unaware of the extent to which men support them emotionally and practically. The health and endurance of relationships may eventually suffer as a result of this lack of appreciation, which can also cause dissatisfaction and a feeling of undervaluation.
Ladies, please date for your benefit. Date for your benefit. Your benefit is a better life, a better lifestyle, children who are taken care of, who have a stable father financially, even if he's not stable emotionally, but financially. Your children go to private schools, they get the best of everything. Okay, because these men are dating for their benefit, and we all know their benefit is sex. Okay, there's studies that have shown most women reach the age of 35 without ever coming. Okay, most women have never orgasmed. Most women are faking it in bed. I think 80% of women fake it in the bedroom. There is no benefit for us in the bedroom. Okay, our benefit is becoming mothers, which is a lifelong fulfillment. But the actual sex itself, it just benefits men. And because they benefit from us, we too should benefit from them. Get what you can. Go scam. Scam him if you must. Scam him if you must. Go.
Start to find and pay attention to the qualities that you love in the men who are around you. The men you know, the men you don't know, the guy at the grocery store who asks to help carry your stuff out to your car. Because when you say, where are all the good men, I already know that you are in a pattern of looking for negative qualities in men. And you're finding them. So start looking for the good men and you will find them.
When I do choose to go on a date, I want you to feed me. I don't want to just go for drinks. And I feel like a lot of people will say like a coffee date or like, let's just go for drinks and like see if we vibe and then let's do dinner the next time. I see that as like, you're cheap. No, let's go to dinner. Let me see the way you order. Let's see your mannerisms. Let's see the vibes. You're going to order 1 dessert or 2 desserts. Let's see how generous you are. And I don't know, like I feel like already when you're going on a date, you're taking a risk. So like if you're not willing to like take the risk and feed me and you're only like down to take me for drinks, I find that weird. Like I'm not into that.
Advice being given by a woman is detrimental to contemporary women. Many women in America have difficulties as a result of specific facets of feminist movements. Such unfavorable counsel may make it much more difficult for them to enjoy happy lives. It could make individuals feel more alone and isolated rather than empower them. Women need to be given direction that promotes their well-being, happiness, and personal development. When someone receives advice that goes against these objectives, it can have very bad effects and make them feel even more alone and distant. It is important to support women in seeking guidance that promotes healthy relationships, individual success, and emotional stability. They will be able to enjoy prosperous lives and create communities that are stronger and more encouraging in this way. Rather than sending them down a lonely and unsatisfactory path, the guidance ought to center on genuine empowerment and connection.
The role of women, be the home. You're not meant to leave the home and try to...
Or Nicki Minaj.
Why men are checking out of society and relationship.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Wendell Coolsey of the Gobble Club Podcast. So the topic for this week, why are men going their own way? So I was going to give you guys a explanation of why men are going their own way, but I found this video of this woman who had a great breakdown of why men are going their own way, so I'm gonna let her take it away.
People don't go where they're unwanted, and everybody always puts the blame and shame on men for everything that has gone wrong in society. A woman wants a man who is emotionally available and sensitive, but if a man expresses his sensitivity, he is told that he has a fragile ego. If a man wants to defend himself against a woman, she will shame him into being quiet by saying he's either too aggressive or he has toxic masculinity. If a woman says something offensive, she is protected. If a man says something...
Anyways, whether you agree or disagree, I invite you for this week's live show. We have a great panel. See you guys there. Facts over feelings. Peace.
50% of men regret choosing the woman that they have married.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Did you say we could choose?
Most men are not attractive to women, which is why you see men so needy that at the first sign of affection, they already hand over the key to their house. Saying that men regret the woman they chose is absurd. What men do regret is getting married, because dating is one thing and marriage is another. Many feel cheated by the promises that woman made and by the treatment they received from her once married.
The emotional drain they connect with modern romantic engagements is one of the main reasons why men are choosing to avoid relationships more and more. Many men believe that the demands placed on them in relationships nowadays are unattainable and hard to live up to. This is due in part to the social climate, the social conventions that frequently prevent males from publicly expressing their vulnerabilities can sometimes make it seem impossible to resist the urge to always be emotionally available, sympathetic, and helpful. Because of this, a lot of guys could experience burnout as they attempt to strike a balance between being emotionally present and adhering to society's standards of masculinity.
Good morning. I have a couple questions. Maybe y'all can help me out. Here in Florida, since I just moved here about 4 months ago, men are very different. They don't court you. Whatever happened to flowers and phone calls and good morning, babe, and good night, babe, and let's go get lunch or breakfast, or hey, do you want to go look at the sunset? I don't fucking know. But that's gone now. Men don't do that. It's you gotta be the man, and that's so unattractive when you gotta pull out your masculine energy because the dude is too soft. It's wake up, dudes. Be a man. Build something. I don't know. I'll cook. You build. I mean, on a date, take the lead. I don't understand. It's situationships all day long. It just, it's so unattractive. I don't get it. Can somebody explain it? Or is it me? I don't know. Let me know.
Girls put guys in the friend zone.
Because we don't like them, they're too nice.
What's wrong with being nice?
We like talking.
This is exactly why there's so many men that are just done dating, because if they're a good man, they're being told that they're too nice by this type of woman. And her advice is playing toxic games like not texting her back. Good men don't want that. But what they're being forced to do is weave through this toxic craziness and trying to stay true to themselves, all while hoping that by the time that they do find their match that is also of healthy mindset, that they're ready for her, which is easier said than done.
Ladies, here is a hard dating fact you're really going to have to accept. These good men you say you're looking for, they aren't out chasing women. They're working their ass to the bone, chasing their dreams. Hell, it's more than likely they're not even going to approach you unless they see a particular character trait that interests them. Now, this part goes for men too, as well as women. You have to put in an effort to develop a relationship. If you're just sitting there waiting for somebody to come along, you're never going to find them. With that said, remember this. You can't force attraction. If they're not attracted to you or interested in you, move on.
He ain't got no money. He ain't got no money. He ain't got no money. He do not have no money.
Women love being courted, and I do think that that is something that's lacking in our generation of dating, is men just don't court women like they used to. And I think if more men did, there'd be more success stories. Yeah, I think it's important for girls to be a little bit more headstrong and a little bit less of a pushover. And I think guys kind of like that. They like to chase. It's just in their DNA.
Yes, absolutely. I think that we tried to modernize it at one point, being you can sleep with them on the first day, and you can. Yeah, that's fine. Go for it. I could care less. But there is something in guys' brains wired like this, where if you don't sleep with them on the first date, they're like, hey, what's up? They're texting you. You didn't give them all the marbles. Yep. I think that's as old as time.
You can't expect traditional values from men and not expect it from yourself. It just doesn't work that way. Besides, we live in 2024 now. Things aren't the same as it used to be. If women aren't bringing the same thing men are bringing, it just won't work.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner. Even if you weren't to remarry, just to have a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of men. I've got my answers, but I want to hear it in the comments. So please, drop it in the comments.
Tired of being labeled a misogynist, toxic, or whatever? when all we like is a little respect and loyalty. Was married 24 years. Wife decides to leave and take half my retirement and almost half my future income. Done. We love unconditionally. Most women love conditionally. She leaves. She takes everything. She has hard times, we're expected to be there. We have hard times, she leaves.
However, in the context of contemporary relationships, women also face unique difficulties. They frequently struggle with irrational expectations and self-destructive habits. Many women might have an idealistic picture of what relationships should be like as a result of social media, popular culture, and romanticized depictions of love. They can anticipate that their partners will meet all of their emotional requirements, be empathetic to their unsaid feelings, and embody the ideal of the perfect spouse. These irrational expectations may put undue strain on their relationships, which might hinder the growth of
All right,
genuine,
y'all. Why do
imperfect
women
bonds.
get mad when men prefer much younger women? Glad you asked. Your girl got an answer for you. Let's get into it, family. So for starters, I will say that there's an extremely large age difference. It can look a little funny. 20, 30 years age difference does make you think, do they have in common? He was 30 when she was born. Here's the thing. If it's not illegal and no one was abused or is being abused in the process, then it is what it is. Okay? Here's the part 2 to my answer. Now, I'm a divorced woman, have a child, and I'm in my 30s. And I've heard everything that's said online. So at first, it was hard to accept. Hard to hear that you're not someone's preference because of some things that you can't control at this moment. And I used to get mad at it. Everyone wants to be everyone's preference. And I had to accept. Not for everybody. And look, I'm okay with it. There's men that's gonna love me for exactly who I am. And there's men that's not. All good. What's for me is for me. That's that. Accepting it for what it is really helped me to no longer be mad at it.
I can relate to this wise woman's relationship advice. You should respect a man who treats you with dignity. A robust and healthy partnership is built on this mutual respect. It strengthens the bonds of understanding, trust, and admiration between couples, resulting in a lasting and meaningful relationship. Couples who respect and value one another can work through difficulties together to forge a dependable and satisfying relationship. In order to build a happy, loving relationship in which both partners feel appreciated and respected, respect is necessary.
What kind of world do we live in where a normal, regular girl cannot find just a regular guy out here to date?
They can. The problem is society has lied to us, telling us to never settle, telling us that we're the prize to be won, telling us that no matter who we date, we deserve better, that we shouldn't put up with this or that. When the reality is a lot of those things are just natural human things, that everybody makes mistakes and no one's perfect. We're expected to hold men to these ridiculous that they can never reach. We are taught to expect perfection from our relationships, and we're not perfect ourselves. Instead of being realistic on what we personally can bring to a relationship and finding a man that is similar, we keep our expectations ridiculously high, which will make it impossible for us to find someone amazing. If you are truly willing to date a man that has flaws and imperfections, a man that does his best and treats you well, but doesn't necessarily give you the world, you're gonna find a man. Those men are abundant.
I am probably a great partner. I just do not have the patience anymore. Check your friend zones, ladies. He's there if you sincerely want that good guy. The regular, chill, kind guys, we still exist. We just like being left alone in peace.
Girls put guys in the friend zone.
Because we don't like them, they're too nice?
Actually, no. The men stopped dating because girls like you aren't loyal anymore, and they started to realize they were wasting their time trying to make relationships work with girls that ultimately didn't care about them. And now it's ruined everything, even for good girls like me.
How do you expect for women to be submissive if you don't even court us? No dates, no I miss you calls, no I'm just checking on you to make sure you made it home safe. Have you ate today? Are you okay? How's your mental? But you want us to be submissive? You haven't even bought me a cheeseburger. But you want me to be submissive?
Let's see what the men got to say about this. The guys that still court and date gets played for the losers who don't. Gentlemen do exist. You're not attracted to them or friend zone them. That's what good guys do. But y'all don't like that. And now that we not now, y'all want a good guy? Yeah, no thanks. And the sad part is, the girls that can't understand those things which I've experienced, besides that they don't know how to appreciate it. Women get love for being themselves. Men get love on the condition that we provide. If you're not doing this, don't expect it.
If you are laying in that man's bed and you start to think to yourself, what's he thinking about? Does he like me? Go home. Get up and go home. Yes, he likes you, otherwise you wouldn't be over at his house right now. But what's he thinking about? Other bitches, probably. Get up and go home. Do not say that shit out loud.
If a man is so blessed about paying for your dates, he's just not gonna be a good provider. It just shows his character. A good provider will not mind paying for the dates. That's his mentality. So when you go on date and then your date required you to pay half on being like bitching about it or like ask you if the next time you can pick it up, he's not gonna be a good provider. So when you marry them, he's gonna do the thing like that original content creator mentioned. Whenever you ask him for $10, he's gonna be bitching about, he's gonna be complaining about. You think you want to deal with that the rest of your life? No. So you want to find a good provider, and it shows on the dates. They will want to pay for the dates.
Because they see it as a reflection of a man's character, women are frequently hesitant to pay for their first meal on dates. But in my opinion, these expectations really disclose more about the ladies. This way of thinking emphasizes the traditional values they uphold, which many contemporary women do not seem to share. Equality and shared responsibility are important concepts in the modern society. The advancement of gender equality may be hampered by the expectation that men should always pay.
Life. Make more space for your peace and your happiness. There is no more room for negativity in your future.
I have devastating news for the women out there. I don't know what it is, because it didn't make any sense to me, but it sounds just absolutely heartbreaking. And he left some more bad news in my comments that I don't understand what it is, but it sounds just absolutely heartbreaking. I hope we can all make it.
Guys, what happened to men being hunters? I thought they were designed to hunt. MGTOW. What happened? Men don't court us anymore. They don't take us out on dates. They don't buy flowers. SEX, please come to my place. We invite a stranger to your place. Do you even know me? What if ke sebetsa le ditsotsi mo re tlo nkela di furniture le dikoloi? Yo bathong.
Imagine spending your money and time on someone who's not even feeling you and having other 5 men doing the same. It's tiring and hurting. Men's Conference is doing a great job. We know our worth. Last time I spoke to a nice girl, she told me I am harassing her. From there on, I knew how to keep my distance. It's not worth it, chasing down a diseased porcupine that will hurt you, leave you broke and broken. Keep on knowing your worth, guys. It's a waste of time, especially when you don't reciprocate. We skip everything and go straight to the point.
All women are 304s. Nope. There is no such thing as traditional women anymore. Wrong. Women simply aren't worth it. What does that even mean? I am so tired of all of this negativity. Are you going to insist that masculinity is about growth, suffering, and overcoming difficult things, and then just not date because it's hard? Are some of you really so pessimistic and self-hating that you will just resign yourself to never feeling love and affection? Are you really going to sit here and insist that you have all of the answers to dating, and then just refuse to pass those answers on to a woman who is ready and willing to please you? Tell me, what battle are you even fighting? You insist there's a problem, but you aren't trying to actually solve it? What is the point of all of this other than to just kick and scream? There are a lot of great women out there looking for men with your values. Go meet them, be strong in your convictions, and enjoy the life that you can create with them. Because the negativity has got to stop.
I am truly much happier since I took myself out of the game. Pretty much. Trying to find a good woman is like finding a gold needle in a haystack. Can't use a magnet, and the needle blends in. If every time you did a certain task, you smashed your fingers, how many times do you continue doing that task before you don't do that task again? Because when it comes to divorce, the risk is too high for a man to lose half of everything. Divorce family court is biased against men. In this narcissistic society, both sides of the aisle. Men get the short end of the stick, and there is no benefit, only detriment, and a happier alone. Nah, I'm good. Too much risk, ridiculous standards, labeled as a creep just approaching. Happier out of the game. There are good women out there, true, but how do men know she will not scream and accuse him of being a creep? It's just a lose-lose battle. That's why they're walking away. Dating is only hard for these women because the man's needs aren't being met. They only care about themselves. This is what it looks like for men when they say something. They mean their words.
What is one secret you never told your ex?
That I hooked up with someone else.
I cheated.
I cheated.
Jesus.
This is crazy.
This is a question for the men and the men only. What is the real reason that you've given up on dating altogether or haven't dated in 10 plus years? Every single day in my comment section, anytime I talk about dating or relationships or getting married, the majority of men in my comments are saying that they're no longer interested in dating. And I really want to know the reason. Like, what was the final straw for y'all to finally say, you know what, I had enough? Plus, there's this weird information going around that by 2030, like, heterosexual couples will be non-existent, people are not having babies and this and that. And do you think that's because men have stopped dating or because women have stopped dating and people have equally stopped dating? Or is it because men are not pursuing women anymore? I'm really interested to see the comments or the duets on this post as to why y'all have stopped dating in the first place. Did you have a toxic ex? Did you go through a terrible divorce? Did she take everything? Or have you been on dates and they've just been so fucking awful that you finally said, forget it? So what's the real reason that you gave up dating altogether? Okay, bye.
There's no benefit to it anymore. I risk my life and reputation for a woman who will leave as soon as I can't provide or she gets bored. Not worth it. I would love to date. But it's absolutely not worth the risk, or the expense, or the effort. Women don't love anymore. They only take. There is nothing beneficial in it for us. They have unrealistic expectations. They want everything, and there is no reciprocation. Better to be alone. Real men are tired of being played. We don't want the games. We just want the real deal. In my experience, social media has turned most women towards caring more about attention from everyone than an actual respectable relationship. Tired of women saying they want a good man, but put us on the friend list to go out with the bad guy and do nothing but complain to us about it. My ex destroyed me financially with child and alimony support, even with shared custody. The laws are against a good, honest husband that supports his family.
Relationship pressure can also be significantly attributed to self-destructive habits. It is possible for women to unintentionally take activities that negatively impact their ability to form deep, long-lasting relationships. For instance, unfavorable experiences in the past could evoke feelings of vulnerability or rejection, which could show up as defensiveness, mistrust, or a reluctance to fully connect.
Surprise! The number of young single men in America is at a record high. This is why. According to Pew Research data that was released this week, a staggering 63% of men in their 20s are single, which is almost double that of women. Lonely men out there? Let's break down these numbers. Scholars say that women don't want to marry down, whereas in the past, men played a more significant dominant role in relationships. Women are now taking home 60% of all bachelor's degrees. And even though men still still earn more money than women. That wage gap is slowly closing. It's now sitting at $43 a week. And that empowerment of young women is removing young men from the relationship equation. So then who are these young women dating? Some are dating and marrying slightly older men, which has been a thing for centuries. And others are more openly dating each other. There's more to it than just changing social dynamics. Women are also tired of dating emotionally unavailable and distant men, which is a larger issue in male relationships in general. Research shows that more men than women are friendless and lonely, and only half of single men are even looking for a committed relationship or even going on casual dates. They just want friends. And the social disconnect actually has really tragic consequences. Like the young male unalive rate is 4 times that of women. And all this research compounds with a 2021 Gallup poll, which found that American men are experiencing a friendship recession, with nearly 1 in 6 American men reporting not having a single close friend. Female empowerment is one thing, but if relationships and friendships are both falling for men, where does that leave us in the future?
Staying single because it's too expensive to date in this economy. Rather spend on myself than another person who can just walk away.
And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW Voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.